But whether it's online or in person, honey, do not take an ATM. In and out, calf here, lunch there, go back to my room, go back to class. I didn't like that. So guys, welcome back to my channel. So as we all know, everybody who's a student or going to any type of school, we are gearing up to go back to either online classes for the full semester or hybrid, where I don't know if your school might have some type of arrangement where you do half in person and half online, whatever it is. So I am going to be doing a kind of like a back to school series, but this time it's going to be my experience because I'm currently a senior in university studying biological sciences and a minor in psychology, and I'm just going to be giving you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way and just different things that could help. So if you're interested, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, in this video I'm going to be talking about 10 things I wish I knew before university. So some of these, they won't necessarily apply to 2020 because everything is not on campus anymore, but just still things that I wish I had known. So the first one is, I wish I had known that community college was another route of getting a degree. So community college is basically, it's not a full 4-year college, so they just do courses like the basic courses that you'd already have to do when you get into a 4-year college, but you get to do it cheaper because it's like a lower level college and it's for just people that's taking random courses. Granted, I definitely wouldn't change the decision I made to go to a 4-year college because of all the experiences I've had and all the people I've met and the different things I've been able to do. I still wish I had known that was possible, so maybe I would have chosen a different route or decided to go that way, or I would have taken courses from those community colleges and then transfer it into the 4-year university so I could actually be ahead. So if you didn't know that existed, definitely check it out. There are, depending on the university you want to go to after the 2 years, which is an associate's degree, you could see what courses the school you're looking to will accept. Basically just look into what are the basic courses that other 4-year universities would accept, and then you can definitely do those. Those are definitely cheaper. You can do them during the summer. You can also do them during your time at high school, just to get those credits out of the way. So that's definitely a good opportunity, as well as it definitely gets you ahead for when you step into your 4-year college, or if you decide to just do all 4 years at a community college, that works as well. But I know many people who just transferred in and then got the last 4 years at a bigger college or bigger university. Number 2, so the second thing I wish I had known before going into university, I wish I had learned about and looked up HBCUs. HBCUs are historically black colleges or universities, and when I came, I hadn't done that much research into all the possibilities of universities because I had only known about a few that I saw other persons who I had known gone to, so I kind of only had those in my head. So I literally only applied to like 1 or 2, and the one I wanted to go to already accepted me, so I didn't apply to anything else. I wish I had done more research and had looked into more HBCUs in general, as well as where I live and out of state. I don't think I would have gone out of state because it's still very expensive, but just knowing what was out there. I also wish I had done more college tours. I think they did have opportunities too based on the high school that I went to when I got to America, but I didn't do much research on that because I had already had my mind set that I was going to the university I'm going to now. I'm not sure if I would have changed my mind. I probably would have, but I don't regret going to the university I go to now. I really do like it, but I think it would have been nice to just at least know that they exist or look around at what they are. So it would have been like really nice to go to. But do your research on the universities. The third thing I wish I had known before I came to university, now this is with you being inside, like you're already attending the university, do not take 8 a.m.s. So things might be different right now because everything is online, but whether it's online or in person, honey, do not take an 8 a.m. So now listen. You might think,
oh, I went to high school, I had to wake up at like 6 o'clock every day, and I went to school early for 7:20, 7:10, 7 o'clock.
So you're thinking, I used to go to high school early all the time, I can make an 8 a.m. class. What? No. Don't believe that. Don't try, don't nothing, okay? 8 a.m.s are not your friend, honey. I took one in freshman year. I was running to that class every morning. And it's not like, you see, you don't have somebody that's constantly making sure that you're awake, up and ready every morning. It's just you, your alarm, and maybe your roommates if you have one. If not, you're done. Now, persons who do commute or drive to the university, they tend to get there early because they have a farther way to come from, so they make sure to leave. So let's say if you live like 30 minutes away from the university, you are gonna make sure that you're on the road by like 7:20, which means you're gonna make sure that you're early to class. But if not, don't do it. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. You might think you have it, you might think you're ready. Don't do it. You're not gonna survive it, okay? Plus, depending on the class, they might be strict on time. So if you come in at like 8, 10, 8:05, that's points off, that's attendance off. Don't do that to yourself. The fourth thing I wish I had known was how to audit my courses myself. So I'm not sure how the other universities do it, but my university has this thing called DARS, which is Degree Audit Reporting System. So basically, it's like a sheet that tells you, based on your major, all the courses that you need to take and all the requirements that you need to take to graduate. On that same report, it's also going to say like your GPA, the grades that you've gotten in the class, of course your major, your name, and then everything else about the school. So once you get in as a freshman, you have a clean slate, obviously, and it's blank, and then you can literally, if I had known, I would have definitely gone in and looked around more. I had learned about it later on from like other students who currently go to the university, and it literally says, okay, I need to take biodiversity 1, biodiversity 2, the basic course that everybody has to take, and then it goes into a folder that says foreign language. You need to have 8 credits of this. Math, you need to have college algebra, this and this and this and this. So you can see before time or ahead of time all the things that you need to get. So once you register for classes, it goes in and it says pending. So now it subtracts how many credits that you're supposed to have total in order to graduate. So you can see that it goes less and less and less. It also shows you GPA as you continue to take classes and how it increases. It also shows you your grade that you get in a class and then how it's calculated in the side. So let's say you get like an A minus, it would be like a 11 point something worth point, but if you get an A, it would be like 12 points, and then it calculates it and find your GPA. Using that, you can literally plan on your entire college life. So if I had gone before, I would have been able to be like, oh, my advisor said these things, and those advisors, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but the advisor literally looks at all the things. They have a plan, supposedly like an average plan that everybody should go through, but everybody doesn't work with the plan because everybody can adjust differently. University is really difficult, so it's a whole new ball game. There's an arrangement that you could do, or you arrange it on your own, but that's basically what it is. If I had known beforehand as a freshman, I would definitely have gone in and like rearrange how I took the classes so I could take it how I would prefer it, because even when I went to my advisor a while back, I had already done this entire thing, figured out all my credits, counted, calculated everything, and when I went to my advisor, I even added a minor because I'm like, I have all these extra credits. The advisor is gonna tell me just take random electives, but I could take credits for another degree, another minor, and actually not waste the electives but use it towards like another degree or another certificate. So I literally went in and I was like, this is my plan, these are the classes I'm going to take. You can also see when it's available, and they just check it off and say yes or no. As long as you fulfill all the number of credits, you're fine. So that's another thing I wish I had known before, so I would have gone through it and looked at it. But yeah, number 5, I wish I had known about Rate My Professor. I had found out about Rate Professor maybe like my sophomore year. Rate My Professor is a website that literally rates your professor. So you just Google, let's say the name is John Brown, you type in John Brown, you type in XYZ University, and the name will come up and it will say, okay, 5 stars, 4 stars, 4.5, and then they will literally have students comment that say, okay, I took
microbiology 105, teacher was great, they posted the notes, exams were hard but great to study,
and then they give a grade of how much they rate the teacher, and they give the grade that they got in the class. So you can literally see what other students would rate this professor as well as the grade that the student got in the class. So if you see the professor has like a low rating of like 2.5, and then the student, somebody's below it cussing like,
this teacher was bad, he didn't attend classes, attendance was terrible, his exams were worth 100% of the grade,
which is, oh my god, no PowerPoints, like things like that, you can be like, yeah, no, we're not gonna take you. It also says what class, because you can also have something that says John Brown and they taught class A and it was great, right? And then somebody give them great ratings and the student gets an A minus. But then it says class B, he don't really teach that well, the students have a C average. You're like, if I'm taking class A, then yes, I'll take this professor, but if I'm taking class B, yeah, never mind. So that's another thing I wish I had known, because I definitely would have done that earlier and figured out which teachers I was going to take based on their rating, so I can know for a fact, okay, this teacher good, this teacher yeah. Number 6, I wish I had known that there are plenty of people in the university to become friends with. So when you first come in, like you have your orientation and then you meet all the people in your class, right? So I was 2017, so when I went to orientation, I saw all these kids, everybody fresh out of high school, everybody's also excited, love it, great, it was wonderful, right? But you forget the fact that there's still other students out there on the campus. So like friend wise, you meet friends, and this is also where you learn a lot about how friends change over time. Your first friends might not always be your last set of friends. Or like you might meet so many different people, like people I met at orientation I had never seen again, or there was in another major that was like way left and I have nothing to do with that major, so I would never see them again. But there's so many people on a university campus, especially a four-year campus, for you to meet. So you'd never be short of people to meet, friends to meet, clubs to join, organizations to join, activities to do. Like there's so much things to do. Now this was pre-2020, so sorry to all of you that have to go through this. You might not experience it, but when this is done, in Jesus' name, when this is done, you'll get to still experience that. So just don't forget that. Like I go to a university where there are like 30,000 people, and I always wonder, why don't I meet all these other people? Like there's so many people in the university and you're so used to staying with the same set of people or only hanging out with the same set of people when there's so many different groups of people to meet. So that's another thing that in the beginning I wish I had known, so I wouldn't have been so close-minded to the people that I hung out with. But by sophomore, junior year, I definitely like spread out and met different people from different majors, different organizations, different class levels. So seniors, juniors, post-grad, graduates, like you meet so many different people, and networking is so important. As I said before, I don't know how online gonna go, but y'all will figure it out. We'll figure it out. So that's something I wish I had known. Number 7, get a bicycle or a skateboard to travel around campus. So my campus is actually kind of big. My campus is quite big. I wouldn't say too big now, I've gotten used to it. But when I first got there, I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm supposed to get to all these classes in these 10-minute spaces, right? Eventually I learned all the shortcuts. I learned where to walk, what to go through so I could get there on time. But I didn't even think about it before. I should have gotten a bike, because you literally, when I tell you now, or well, not now because classes are online, but when I was on campus in spring, I literally got to class in 2 minutes, 3 minutes top. It was so much easier to get to where I was going, and there's bike racks everywhere, so you could park it, lock it up, and then come back to it. You'd also see skateboarders 24/7 that get to class to and from quickly, and then you just put your skateboard like in the back of the classroom. So definitely that came in clutch. My freshman year, I was doing so much walking every day, and the sun was hot, and depending on what you wore, because the classes are cold but outside is hot, so you're like, jacket, no jacket, what do I do? But yeah, definitely getting some type of mode of transportation. If you have a car, it doesn't really work that well, because you can park here and still have to walk to all your other classes because it's still far on the campus. So any which way you take it, you need something to be mobile on the campus itself. Number 8, I think I actually kind of went into the university with this mindset, but I feel like this one, it might be something that not everybody gets into their head. Go to every event possible, okay? Every little thing that the school is having, Spirit Day, or just different things that they're having, go to everything. Every event that you see, every flyer that you see, go to it. This is how you get to meet people, connect to different type of people, come out of your shell. Like I literally went into the university like, listen, bear in mind I was already new to this country already, so I'm like, listen, you're gonna go in here and you're just gonna go to everything you can, try to be as nice and talk to everybody you can, make friends, just go, just push yourself. I feel like it's not done enough, or like there's so many people as freshmen who, even my friends who I had, or people that I know,
they're like, I don't want to go, I don't have anybody to go with.
Bro, find somebody that you just met, just ask them, hey, do you want to go to this? Hey, do you want to, they have a flyer? If not, if they say no, find somebody else. I can guarantee you will always find people that want to go to these things but they're afraid to, or they don't have anybody to go with. So definitely go to all the events. I went to football games, all the football games. I went to all the football games. I went to all the tailgates. I went to all the bonfires. The university just put on so many things, and I was at like almost everything as much as I could. Especially freshman year, I was at everything under the sun. They had barbecues, I was there. They had, if you had it, you set the time and I was there. Plus you're more free now, and I lived on campus at that time. So as a freshman, all the people are like, okay, like they literally send you reminders and stuff about different events going on to get you to go, so you could go out there and be out there. And funny enough, all the same people who was at these different events constantly are the same people that's now in their junior year or senior year, is like being a part of organizations or running organizations or a vice president of like different clubs and stuff. So definitely get yourself out there. Number 9, when you're scheduling your classes, stack them up. Now this is based on preference. My first semester that I didn't do this because I had registered for classes fairly, I wouldn't say late, but fairly late. I scheduled it at orientation because I didn't know how to do it, but they were spaced out. We'd have like Monday at 10, Monday at 3, Tuesday at 9, Tuesday at 1, Tuesday at 2, Wednesday like in the middle of the day. I hated that. It was in and out, half here, lunch there, go back to my room, go back to class. I didn't like that. So for me, the following semester, I put them together. So if I could, I tried as best as I could to get like all of my classes on one day. So like Monday, I'd have like classes from like, let's say like 9, I had a 10 o'clock class and 11 o'clock class, and then I was done for the day. And then Tuesday, I had 11 to 3. So So I had that gap in the morning, I had space at the end. That way I would only have 2 or 3 full days, and the full days weren't even like a 8 to 2 like normal high school hours. It would just be literally like a 3-hour gap. That way I got more work done, and it wasn't that bad. Like, I prefer that. And then I have empty days, literally like Wednesday was empty, Friday was empty. I could do homework those days, I could just have free time those days. So definitely stack your classes. Now with everything being online, which wait for that video, is coming soon, I would say depending on how long the classes are online, you can decide how you want to stack it. So I had longer classes in the summer, but I still kind of kept them relatively close. That way I was on the computer for the same length of time, or during that time, instead of 10 to 11 on Monday, 10 to 11 on Tuesday, and then a random one from 1 to 3 on a Tuesday, or in the middle. You get what I'm saying. But I prefer to stack it. If you prefer to have them randomly spread out so you could, I don't know, then that's you. That just didn't work for me, because I prefer to have like completely empty days so I can do other things. And number 10, I wish I had known to pre-plan your classes. So for fall semester, my freshman year, my classes were planned by an advisor, and they just kind of pick all the basic classes that you're supposed to do as a freshman, and they just give it to you. They don't really, you don't get to choose the times you want, the professors you want, so you don't really get the best classes per se, especially freshman. You don't get the best classes of anything, because you're the first batch. You have the least amount of classes to take to graduate, so they're not as worried about you. By around October, November, you start gearing up for planning your spring semester. Now if you're smart, you would have gone to your advisor beforehand and figure out what classes you need to be taking in the spring, or if you follow what I said and do your degree audit, you can also know ahead of time what classes you need to be planning. That being said, you can go in and literally plan your next semester schedule, like literally in front of you, so you can decide what classes you want to take, the timing, the professor. And if you do it beforehand, when it comes time to register, which is going to be some crazy time, like for freshmen, I think at that time you'd have times like 10 p.m. registration, 12 a.m. registration, or like early morning times. So if you've already had your complete schedule set out and planned, the times, the classes, the location and everything, you literally just go in and say register plan. Let's say you named it spring 2021. You literally just go in and click register, and then you click plan 2021, and then all of the classes will be registered for you. Now based on what year you are, you might register later. So sports people register early, then seniors and juniors all the way down. So if you are a freshman, you're going to be like the last person to register, and so chances are classes might be full by then. So you kind of have to work around, tweak some things, swap some classes so you can set it up. But ever since I found out about pre-planning, I pre-planned all of my semesters from summer, fall, spring. I had an idea of when I was going to take it, especially since you've gone over what courses you need to take and talk to your advisor when you need to. Now since everything is online for 2020, it's still going to be the same process. The only thing is, instead of seeing locations of where your classes are, depending on if you're taking a lab, now you're going to see, is it fully online, is it fully live? Once you have that plan, you're literally set and ready to go, and then you can just get all the things done. You don't have to worry about your classes. I've known so many people who used to stress about registering for classes. They have holes on their account. Like, do these things ahead of time so you don't have to worry about any of those things. Yes, and now we've come to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Now it's time for motivational quote of the day. So today's motivational quote is, don't make permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. I'm looking at you. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed these 10 things I wish I knew before I went to university. Comment something that you wish you had known. Commenting helps my exposure, so don't forget to do that. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.